Hello everyone, welcome back to Touch the Fire Twice. I'm Joshua and I'm here to do an in-depth sniff and comparison review of the brand spanking new HomeWorx by Slatkin & Co.'s Pink Lemon Shortbread candle. This hit the HomeWorx.shop website a few days ago, and people kind of blew up over it, understandably so. When newness comes, it's always exciting. Harry and team at the HomeWorx.shop dropped a handful of returning favorites and a couple of new scents. Of course, returning favorites from 2018, some of the OGs, which is really exciting, I think, to see some of those ones come back. Like Kiwi Margarita was a relaunch from the original spring collection in 2018 from HomeWorx's launch. That was launched in 2017. Spring 2018 was the first spring. And then, so we saw that, as well as Berry Trifle came back, which is selling out and coming back and selling out and coming back. So hopefully that will continue because that's a great one. And then White Sangria as well, which was in that first launch back in the day. Really great scent there too. So I did a purchase of Berry Trifle, White Sangria, and the first we had ever heard and seen, the Pink Lemon Shortbread. So these arrived today and I did a burn on it and wanted to get a review out there because I know folks are clamoring to hear what it's like and what it's about, and if they should order, which I mean, it's usually yes with HomeWorx, but listen on and we can see what you think about it. So, kind of came as a surprise. Harry is great with gourmands, great with citrus, put them together, and it's like, I think citrus bakery items are probably my favorite bakery, unless we get into holidays, where it might be a little bit more, your traditional cinnamons and things, but they can be so good. It's that perfect blend of, it's not overly ooey gooey, heavy buttery, because that citrus always cuts that a little bit, right? So the notes on this one specifically for Pink Lemon Shortbread are pink lemon, vanilla shortbread, sugared citron, and buttercream swirl. And this is the traditional 18 ounce in the big old 4-wick vessel with the kind of chrome metal lid here. And then you can see here a nice warm yellow wax. I already burned that for a couple of hours and pre-trimmed those. When I first saw the label, I thought, oh, it's a little strange. It's not my favorite. There's some really pretty ones out right now. This is just a traditional shortbread with some, citrus zest in the background, and then kind of almost like a 90s, like Saved by the Bell zigzag of a pink kind of glaze on there. But you know what? It works. It's fun. It's a little bit throwback, like late 80s, early 90s, just in style, and I think it's kind of fun. So that is the overall vibe. What do I smell on it? I really like it, first of all. It is, I wouldn't mind it being a little bit stronger. I would say it's probably a 5. I'd love it to be like a 7 or 8. And it's pretty much, I think, what you would expect it to be. So I do have 3 other scents I'm going to compare it to. One, a Bath & Body Works, one, a Slatkin & Co. from Bath & Body Works back in the day, and then one more recent HomeWorx candle. It really is a good balance of citrus and shortbread. The good thing is, some candle companies will say shortbread or they'll say cupcake or they'll say whatever. When HomeWorx says the type of bakery item, I think entirely is accurate. So when it's a cupcake, it is more of that squishy, moist, cakey vibe. If it is a cookie, or in this case, shortbread is kind of not a cake, not quite, it can be a cookie, but it often is used for tarts and things like that. It's like almost like a hard pie crust, not your typical flaky, crumbly pie crust, but that it has that snap to it. So it's short, it's dense, and it has that buttery, kind of straightforward, a buttery flavor, maybe a little bit of vanilla in it, but it's more of like a canvas for other flavors, which in this case, your citrus. So thinking through here, pink lemon, I'm not sure if pink lemon is just like a nod to like pink lemonade, like we often see, versus just lemon, but it's the lemon you'd expect. I suppose that could sometimes mean a little bit of a sweeter lemon. But I'd say it's traditional lemon. As expected with HomeWorx, doesn't lean cleaner, doesn't lean, just like herbal or just the zest. The zest plays into this, but it is a true, authentic lemon, which honestly in this case probably has some of the juice in there and some of the zest as well, because you're gonna get 2 fairly different interpretations or variations of lemon with the 2 different ingredients there. When it comes to the vanilla shortbread, definitely get that. And I'm glad they're calling it vanilla shortbread because it's not just a buttery shortbread. It has that other layer of the vanilla to it without being specifically like a vanilla buttercream or vanilla cream or something that calls out heavily vanilla, because there's some there with the shortbread, but not a ton. Buttercream swirl, I don't know that I wouldn't call this buttercream personally. I think it is more of, there's a creaminess from just the fact that the shortbread is a buttery cookie. But I don't get, to me, this is more of a glaze. So powdered sugar, maybe mixed with a little bit of milk or a little bit of vanilla, and probably some lemon juice, perhaps some zest, but more so the lemon juice. But I don't really get a buttercream, that deep, warm, heavy that you get from buttercream. I don't really get that in here, which I'm glad, because I wouldn't want that in a pink lemon shortbread cookie. And the sugared citron, total check to that, where, it is that lemon or citrus, whether it's zest or it's almost like like a wedge of lemon dipped in thick sugar crystals. So it is that crunchy. It's not fully like the sugar crystals that you get from like a kiwi margarita or something that's like very much feels like almost like a sugar rim on a glass, but there is that sweetened, sugary, traditional sugar, like cane sugar crystals, citrus in here as well. Now, when it comes to citron specifically, that's not a generic term for citrus. Citron is actually a type of citrus fruit. Generally, it's going to be like a sweeter lemon combined with a little bit of scent of grapefruit. Typically, they're kind of knobbly. They contain very little juice compared to, say, lemons. They can be in multiple shapes, like there's the finger ones, there's all kinds of crazy ones out there, but it's going to be lemon, sweet a bit, and a bit of that grapefruit in there as well. Good performance, as you can see, got really healthy burn. It pulled out within probably an hour or so, full to the edge. I let it go for probably 2 or 3 hours. I will say when I walked in to the room after some time, there was a hint of that kind of kerosene scent that sometimes goes with candles when they're burning too hot or too heavy. I would say that could be my fault. Maybe I left it burning a little bit longer than I should have, considering it was a quick to pool candle in HomeWorx. So, blew it out, cut the wicks. I think it'll be fine next. It doesn't have a burnt scent to it now. I don't think it singed, certainly the wax or the oils, but that's a watch out here, as this seems to burn a little bit hot in that sense. So I'd rather burn hot than not hot enough to pull out, but just something worth noting. And it was a solid throw. It was a medium for me. It wasn't as high as like our limoncello cupcake, or sometimes you see citruses are really strong. The key margarita, though it's not a bakery, strong throw on that one. This was a good medium, so it's for those folks who enjoy the scent. You're going to get the full scent. Again, it was in a big open concept area, so that could be part of it as well. Could definitely smell it, but I wouldn't. I'm one who likes to amp it up. I don't mind really, really strong. This was a solid performer. Certainly more scented than many candles, but it was kind of a mid-range for strength for me. Now, the important stuff to compare to, at least for me, what I like to do, why I do the channel and why I do my sort of comparison reviews, is I want to compare them to a couple of scents. One, I did want to compare it to the Bath & Body Works post-Slatkin era from the original Sweet Shop collection in 2014. There was a pink lemonade pound cake. I could have sworn that I still had one in my collection, but I guess I burned through it. I don't know why. I did have it. I hauled it way back in the day. That was pretty straightforward. It kind of was that sweet, moist pound cake. It wasn't a shortbread, it was a pound cake with a bit of a Sprite. It was more candied soda, lemon lime in there. It was great. It became kind of one of those candles that everyone was hyped about and was hoping would come back, mostly because it was a failed test scent and had a great label and a nice scent, but wasn't like some hoard-worthy scent. But can't compare it. I would say similar in execution, but this one is more sophisticated, a little bit more advanced in notes. One thing that I would say it is comparable to in some ways, this is OG back in the day. I don't know why I keep using OG. This is back in the day. This was 2009, but I think it came out probably a few years before then as well. Slatkin Co. Vanilla Shortbread. No notes listed on the bottom of the candle back in the day then. This was a holiday release, was not a year-round. Though it said vanilla shortbread, this is absolutely shortbread. Strong vanilla, but strong citrus actually in here as well. This is like a lemon shortbread. Very true to the name. I will say this does have a bit more nuance to the notes. This is more shortbread, lemon, powdered sugar, vanilla. It's good though. There's a nice butteriness to this that is the difference between buttercream and butter cookie, the butter cookie. Quite similar to this. Different strengths, but again, this candle's so old, it's hard to really tell and compare. Then we go to much more recently, zooming forward to 2021, Bath & Body Works Lemon Lavender Shortbread. We're talking lemon, we're talking shortbread, so pretty close in line there. Notes, sugared shortbread, zested lemons, fresh lavender sprinkles. This was an online exclusive with the fall collection 2021, and then it may have gone into some stores. This is really, I will give it to BBW on this. This is very nice. This is a great execution of You know, lemon and lavender both can lean cleaner, and this doesn't. This remains gourmand, which is impressive. Also, quite similar to this in the shortbread and the citrus, this does have a bit of a soft floral lavender in there that this does not have, understandably so. And the citrus is a bit more one note in this one, where it is just kind of, it says, what, zested lemons? Yeah, it's zested lemons. This one does have, you can tell that there's some lemon, probably juice in this glaze. There's going to be probably a little bit of lemon zest, maybe even in the cookie itself, mingling with that butter. And you got your sugared citron as well as the pink lemon. So there's more complexity to the citrus in here, but again, not entirely off base as far as if you know either of these two scents and like them, you're not going to dislike this, and vice versa. And then finally, time to compare it to sort of one of the Mac Daddies of HomeWorx, which is Limoncello Cupcake. This is wildly popular. It sells out often, and it really is, you know, it's a top fragrance for HomeWorx across the board. Notes, as many of us know, limoncello, Sicilian lemons, candied lemons, lemon, creamy vanilla, and baked cupcake, like a yellow cupcake. I don't have to tell you what this one smells like. Oh boy, this one is as strong. These are equally strong. This one is like wildly strong. I think because it's so old, it's really like, it's showing its oils. But this one, really the comparison between these two, these are very much sister scents. They're not the same. They have some key differences. I would say with this, you're getting more of the zest, more of the sharpness. Maybe that comes from the citron being a bit of a grapefruit edge to it. This is not a grapefruit scented candle. This is a complex lemon citrus candle. So there's gonna be a little bit of background grapefruit. It's one of those things where there's something there you wouldn't say, oh, this smells like grapefruit, I hate grapefruit, I'm not gonna like it, ruby red is not my thing. No, don't worry about that. There's just a little something extra in there that this does not have. This is a straightforward lemon. There's limoncello, the Sicilian lemon, the candied lemons many forms, but this one does add a little bit different complexity to the citron, the sugared citron. As far as comparing the baked cupcake and creamy vanilla versus vanilla shortbread and a buttercream swirl, to me, the limoncello cupcake, let's see, is creamier. Like the sort of whipped meringue looking buttercream you see on top here. I suppose it is buttercream if it says buttercream, but I almost get a little bit of that sweet meringue too, because buttercream is sometimes just too gloppy and heavy for me, so it's a whipped buttercream, I guess. This feels a bit more whipped, right? So that, I think that's whatever frosting is here. I do get more of like a frosting note in this that you do not get in this. There's just more like a sugared citrus glaze in here, which lets the citrus and the cookie shine through more, where this is a bit of a balance between the cupcake, the citrus, and the creaminess of the buttercream. Both really, really good. If you like one, you'll like the other. I think most people could probably be satisfied with one or the other, though us collectors will want both of them. I will say in my experience, the couple of limoncello cupcakes I've burned before have been stronger than the pink lemon shortbread. Granted, I'm going off of one burn for a couple of hours, so hard to say. There's many variables that can impact, you know, general throw. But there is I'd say this is brighter, sharper, fresher. This is creamier and a bit softer. But again, both very good citrus gourmands. We're talking like, this isn't apples to oranges, this is like Fuji apple to green apple. So if you like one, you'll like the other. I really do like this. We'll see how future burns go on it. If it does burn, you know, really strongly and kind of shows up in ways stronger than it did today, I would certainly repurchase more of them. For now, this might be the only one I buy because I do have some limoncello cupcakes in backup that are fulfilling my need for citrus gourmand. But be sure to stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing reviews on both berry trifle, garden blooms coming up, as well as the white sangria, which I'm really excited about. That is to quote the candle channel, that is a juicy, 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 juicy candle, which is a really great one, which I loved back in, 4 years ago in 2018. So that is enough for today, but let me know what you think of this. Can't wait to hear what y'all think when you get it. And until next time, take care.